Welcome back to Up with Crimp. Students in Spokane Public Schools are heading back to the classroom this morning. And right now, Tim Pham is live at Ferris High School. He's letting us know what students can expect in the classroom this year and is joined by a very special guest. Good morning, Tim.
Hey, good morning, Channing. That's right. I am joined by a very special guest, Dr. Adam Swinyard with Spokane Public Schools, the superintendent. So glad to have you here with us on the show this morning. Dr. Swinyard, let's jump right in. You are at the helm of the second largest school district in the state. 30,000 students waking up today for the first day of school. It's taken a lot to get to this point.
Yeah, well, every year takes a significant amount of planning and preparation, and certainly this year has been no different. We're really excited to have our kids back in our buildings. Our teachers have been looking forward to this day for quite some time. Certainly not the conditions that we had hoped for, but we've remained committed to following the guidance of our public health officials, and there'll be lots of safety mitigation measures in place, and we're ready to love kids and to watch them learn.
I love that. There is just so much excitement. We're seeing it. People are sending in their back to school pictures. You talked about some of the mitigation, though. Let's get a little bit more specific about what is in place when they walk through these doors in just a couple of hours. There's a lot of uncertainty.
Sure. Well, the one thing this pandemic has told us is that it's continuing to evolve and change, and we've had to adjust. And that's the importance of really maintaining constant communication with our public health officials and making sure that we're in close alignment with those mitigation strategies. Many of the things will look the same as last year. Kids will be required to wear masks. We'll be social distancing to the greatest extent possible, making sure we have really rigid cleaning protocols. So we're excited to have our kids back, and they're looking forward to it. And our kids are amazingly resilient. Yeah. And they have just been incredible of adjusting and making the best of it, and our staff have really led that effort and have been great models and examples for them in that effort.
I want to ask you, the governor enacted a statewide vaccine mandate for all state workers, including teachers and staff. And some students may have chosen to get the vaccine as well, but some are not eligible. What are you hearing in terms of the vaccine from your teachers and your staff? Have any of them chosen to resign or quit because they didn't want to follow the mandate?
Well, our staff and our teachers, anticipated and saw this coming, as the Delta variant emerged, and we're anticipating that a high percentage of our staff will be vaccinated. There is an exemption option, and we're working with those individuals on accommodations that are appropriate to make sure everyone maintains a high level of safety. And very few employees have said that this isn't going to be the right fit for them. And we recognize there's a variety of different thoughts and opinions and some really strong passions on this topic. And what we're focused on is bringing our kids back into our buildings, following those public health guidelines, making sure we're listening and seeking to understand each other's perspective, and looking forward to the future with as much hope and optimism as possible.
Absolutely, and yeah, definitely evolving, and appreciate that. So I want to ask you though, we've been hearing from some parents that, they're not sure about a lot. They haven't heard about, where students will eat. Is this a rapidly evolving plan? And I'm sure like you were working up to the minute, up until last night and even this morning, to come up with some of these safety protocols. To walk through, parents watching at home, what is the plan right now?
Yeah, well, we have a really incredible communications team, and we've had a significant amount of information on our website throughout the pandemic where families can go and read through frequently asked question documents. It is true that the pandemic continues to evolve, and there are adjustments that need to be made. So we're doing things thoughtfully, that we're doing exactly what those protocols ask for, that we're not putting things into place that are unnecessary and are going to be inhibitive of our kids' learning. So that does take some adjustments. So we really encourage families to go to our website. We did have a webinar for our families leading up to school. We had almost 1,000 participants engage in that. So we know our families get information in lots of different ways, and we want to make sure that that's accessible to them.
And then I want to ask you, there was the virtual option to go this year. How many students are going virtual, and how many are returning back to the classroom today?
Yeah, well, at this time, there's only around 200 students that have chose that virtual option. So of our 30,000 kids that will be showing up today, the vast majority chose in-person learning. And we recognize that it's important to have options in our community, in our school system. We're glad to be able to provide that virtual option, and we're also really excited to be welcoming kids back that want to be in person into our schools.
All right, Dr. Swinyard, thanks so much. Don't go anywhere. Dr. Swinyard joining us on the CW22 coming up at 7 o'clock. If you have questions for him, go ahead and text us 509-448-2000. For now, I'll go ahead and send it back to you in the studio.